Alright, welcome to my home. When I moved from Singapore to California, I didn't have much things to begin with, but once I settled here, I started to buy stuff the normal people do. TV, VCR, dining table and chairs, queen size bed, futon. This is my bedroom. And then I moved, and this is when I realized that I can get rid of more stuff. There's the walk-in closet, such that I was able to put everything that I own inside my compact size car. Basically, I have jackets, long sleeve shirts, short sleeve shirts, some pants, t-shirts to wear at home, towels, boxers, socks, sports jacket, and a suit. The suit, actually, I made it in 1995 or 96 for my brother's wedding. So how I decide what to keep or not, one rule of thumb that I use is, if I haven't used an item in the last 12 months, then I figure that I don't really need it, then I get rid of it. None of my family members live like I do. None of my friends live like I do. This is my bathroom. This is just a body cream, a nail clipper, comb, floss, toothbrush, toothpaste, razor, and razor blades. In the past, people actually used to live simply, even in America. If you look at the square feet of the single family homes from 1950s till before the housing bust, the trend was going up. And then at the same time, the national happiness reached its peak in the 1950s, despite living in a much smaller place and much simpler life. I'm convinced that anyone can actually live a simple life and actually be happy about it too. My most expensive item in the home, my laptop computer. This is my only lamp that I have. I think I bought it in 1997. It's still working great. I watch movies through this projector. When I'm watching by myself, all I have to do then is move my sleeping bag and then just lie easy, and then I get to watch. And if I have friends over, all I need to do is just move this down, and then I can project to that wall. To me, minimalism is a way of life where you are constantly examining what are the minimum resources needed to achieve the objective. I like to do my own housework, and part of the reason is that's a good workout too. With the doorway, you can also work on your leg muscles. You can go like this. As a minimalist, I always start with what's the objective of whatever I do. Now, even the chair, you can use the chair to do other exercises as well. Now, once you have the objective clear, then you ask yourself, what are the minimum resources needed to achieve that objective? Let's say you want to build up your upper body strength, arm strength. One option is people will go out and buy a pull-up bar or a chin-up bar. Okay, instead of buying, why not use the doorway itself? 1, 2. I made a decision early on in my life to become financially independent as soon as possible. This simple living just made that easier.
Initially, I was actually thinking of writing my book on how I brought down my cholesterol levels without depending on prescription drugs. Someone actually suggested that I should write about my unique lifestyle. It started off as more like a fun project for me personally. But by the time I was done, it helped me clarify what is important. So by the time I was done with the book, I came to a conclusion that it was time for me to leave the corporate world. When I walked away from my career, in one way I was prioritizing one resource over another. I valued time over money. Money is man's creation, but time cannot be created out of thin air. You can lose all your money in one day and subsequently make it back. But I know of no one who has been able to recover lost time. We can always go online and check how much money we have left, but none of us know how much time we have left. People tend to say, oh, minimalists have poor quality of life. I don't find that's the case. Yes, it's true that I may not have a bed, but that doesn't mean I don't sleep well. I may not have a high definition TV, but I take pride in my 120-inch high definition TV. I get to see the sunrise every morning, and once a month I get to see the moonrise. In the winter there's snow on the mountains, and then the brilliant colors of the fall leaves during autumn, and rainbows once in a while. And during 4th of July and New Year's Eve, I get a panoramic view of fireworks. How can anyone say that I have a poor quality of life? I consider myself extremely blessed to be living in this part of the world and enjoying the beauty that nature has to offer. This is my kitchen, and these are my kitchen utensils. A pair of tongs, scissors, just a spoon, fork, teaspoon, measuring spoons. These are my kitchen equipment: blender, pot. The pan, I hardly use it, but then if I have friends over and if I need to cook more than one dish at any single time, the good thing is this same cover also fits the pan. The other misconception is people might say, oh, minimalist means being cheap. Not necessarily true. Most of the fruits and vegetables that I buy tend to be organic, even though they cost more. So here is the luggage bag, this tools bag. This is an emergency bag in case I need to leave the home in a hurry. Finally is the laundry bag. I don't have a lot of stuff that most people have. I'm not really missing them. For the most part, I don't see myself as making sacrifices. A pair of dress shoes, a pair of loafers, sneakers. Then the question becomes, why put yourself through such suffering, right? There are multiple reasons for it. It could be financial, spiritual, environmental. One other reason, what I call training for the unexpected. Fudoshin is a Japanese word that comes from Bushido, or the way of the warrior. And the literal meaning is immovable heart, having a calm that cannot be broken by any circumstances. Very similar to the Stoics, face every event with equanimity. Unfortunately, my guitar string just broke. It's kind of out of tune as well. But hey, just see whatever I can do with this, right? Nothing in life is permanent.
there are no guarantees in life, right? The only thing that is guaranteed is death. But that shouldn't lead us to despondency. It should actually nudge us to focus where we want to spend our limited resource, whatever stuff that we want to pursue. The reason why I've chosen the internal skills and traits is because I see myself as lacking them and not lacking on material stuff. And the other reason also is usually skills and talents takes time to develop. But stuff, if you want to buy, you can just go ahead and buy it right away. Even if you don't have money, you can buy things on credit. So that's the reason I value internal skills, talents and traits over material stuff. There was this city that was captured, and as it was being burned down, all the citizens were grabbing whatever possessions that they could carry and walking away with it. But there was this guy just walking without anything. And when people asked him, "Hey, where are all your worthy possessions?" he said, "Omnia mea mecum porto." It is a Latin phrase which means everything that I own, I carry. This is the pinnacle of minimalism. The most worthy possessions that we have is actually within us. I don't have any background in music. I never attended any lessons. So this is something I kind of created on my own. And that's why I don't actually consider myself lacking any material stuff. I do lack in skills and some personality traits. And that's why I rather devote my limited resources that I have, time being one of them, in developing these traits and skills rather than on material stuff, so that one day I too could, like what this guy said, omnia mea mecum porto. I wouldn't say that we should put happiness first. I think the real challenge all of us have is trying to figure out what our role here on earth is and to perform that role. Abraham Maslow, I think, summarized it very well when he said something like this: a musician must make music, a painter must paint, and a poet must write. For a man to find peace with himself, to be ultimately be peace with himself. And I think that peace, or what I call the sense of fulfillment, transcends everything, including happiness.